Okay. So, hari ini mempunyai 5 guru di sini bersama saya. Mereka dari latar belakang sekolah atau institusi yang berbeza yang akan membentangkan atau bercakap tentang pandangan mereka mengenai beberapa soalan. So today we have Cikgu Halina, Cikgu Lim, Cikgu Wun and Cikgu Lydia. Okay, that's great. So hari ini kita ada 4 guru bersama saya, iaitu Cikgu Halina, Cikgu Lim, Cikgu Wun dan juga Cikgu Lydia Teo. Okay, thank you to our panelists. Terima kasih kepada yang dihormati barisan ahli panel kita pada hari ini. Okay, so let's us look into the first question. Wait a minute. Let me send the thing. Okay. Okay, the first question. Soalan pertama adalah, bolehkah kita mengukuhkan pendidikan keberbagai budaya dalam bilik darjah Malaysia? Mengapa? Siapa nak kongsikan tentang soalan ni?
Cikgu Lim, you're the veteran.
Can you read the question again?
Okay, can. Actually bilingual lah. Okay. Bolehkah kita mengukuhkan pendidikan keberbagai budaya dalam bilik darjah Malaysia? Mengapa? I think in English version is, can we strengthen multicultural education in the Malaysian classroom? Why? How and why?
Definitely can. We can do a lot. You know, one of the strong point of Malaysia is we have very multicultural.
Yes.
You know, so in future, if you work all over the world, I mean that will be an asset. Satu asset kepada penduduk Malaysia lah. Kerana kita Malaysia sendiri multicultural. If you look at countries like China or Japan, you know, the population is mostly only one race. So when they go out of the country, they will be very surprised, and then they will be quite difficult to adapt. Here we have all these different races here. You know, we grow up together, we go to school together. You know, it's a asset. So in Malaysia, I think it's very possible, and then we should take advantage of it lah. Kita mesti ambil sebagai satu kebaikan lah untuk pendidikan di Malaysia.
Okay. What about Teacher Wun?
Okay. Thank you. Bagi saya pendidikan berbagai budaya boleh dilaksanakan di Malaysia. Sebab kita menggunakan satu bahasa sahaja, iaitu bahasa kebangsaan. Jadi ilmu yang disampaikan dengan menggunakan bahasa kebangsaan semuanya satu arah sahaja. Jadi pelajar yang dididik, murid yang dididik, mereka akan mempunyai fahaman yang sama. Okey, itu pandangan saya.
Okey, bagus. Kalau pada Cikgu Halina, apa pandangan kamu?
Okey, pada saya sekolah macam mana kita nak mengukuhkan pendidikan kepelbagaian budaya dalam bilik darjah Malaysia. Okey, macam saya setuju dengan pendapat Mr. Lim Taungi dengan Mr. Jun Tek Woon dalam pendidikan. Sebagai kita, maksudnya saya sebagai kita rakyat Malaysia, kita mempunyai berbilang kaum, iaitu Melayu, Chinese dengan India, dan juga kita ada pelbagai kaum lain kan yang lain tu. So pada saya budaya yang sama. Budaya yang sama, lepas tu satu lagi kita mempunyai bahasa yang sama, kita dapat mengekalkan budaya tu. Dan satu lagi, macam dalam pendidikan, kita semua telah ditetapkan apa sukatan yang akan kita belajar untuk daripada darjah 1, daripada standard 1 sampailah ke secondary school, macam itu.
Okey.
Jadi budaya tu penting. Sebagai kita rakyat Malaysia, kita yang berbilang kaum, maksudnya satu budaya tu sangat penting. Okey, itu saja.
Okey, saya pun setuju.
Okay, I'll just give my point in English. Okay, yeah, I guess that Malaysian as we are multicultural, I think it's an asset to every one of us living in this country and brought up in this country. And the use of Bahasa Malaysia to unite as our national language is also very important. But apart from that, being multiracial, not racial, I guess that we even have greater access, especially for Chinese. We have our mother tongue and as well as our national language. For Indians, they have their mother tongue and the national language. And for Malay, they can always pick up one of the languages. And apart from being multiracial, we can also be multi-linguist in the sense that we can speak in so many languages. So that will also bring about the understanding of the culture of different races. So we definitely can do it. As what Mr. Lim Tao Ni has said, definitely, because I guess that being a national language, Bahasa Malaysia, we do not sideline the Bahasa Malaysia, but we still stress the very important, because I'm also dealing with kids in primary school. So I see it is very important to inculcate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I add something?
Yes,
you see, when we have so many cultures and so many races, we in Malaysia, we take it very normal to know about other races. You know, like Chinese, we know about the Malays, the Indians, the Kazakh, which is very normal to us. And then we know a lot about their race and then their religion. You know, what is the don'ts and what is the do. So we are very aware, sensitive of what the Muslim can do, what the Hindus can do, you know. And all these things must be inculcated in school, you know. Compared to if we talk to citizens of other country, you know, they have no contact with, you know, other than their own race or their own religion. So they don't understand the religions and all. So we should capitalize on it. So when our people, Malaysian citizens, we go out of the Malaysia to work, we become very marketable because we can speak a lot of languages, we know a lot of cultures, we know the do's and don'ts of all the major religions in the world. So actually we'll become very sensitive. Actually, the school should capitalize on this multiculturalism and, you know, education. So it's a plus point. I see that Malaysians are very rich. When I see videos about foreign students coming to Malaysia, and they like Malaysia because of its very multicultural. We switch languages like nobody's business. In one sentence, we can have 3 or 4 languages with dialect inside. You know, we are sensitive to people's culture. You know, that's a plus point. So schools should emphasize on this. You know, like various festivals. The do and don'ts of various community, you know, so we are very sensitive to others, you know. So bila kita bercakap, kita sedar lah certain things that cannot be spoken, you know, we are very sensitive to such things. Okay, that's my opinion lah.
Okay. Great.
Saya tambah kan. Saya pun setuju. Maksudnya dekat sekolah kita sepatutnya dalam silibus kita ataupun dalam aktiviti co-curriculum supaya setiap setiap kaum tu dapat mengenali bangsa dapat mengenali kaum yang contohnya macam kaum Melayu dapat mengenali apa yang tentang adat kaum Cina, kaum India kan. So kalau dalam aktiviti kurikulum macam saya pernah mengajar ni tau. Pendidikan sivik. Jadi dalam pendidikan sivik tu ada program khidmat masyarakat. Jadi saya ambil kebudayaan. So saya saya minta pelajar saya buat satu program tentang perkahwinan. So orang buat perkahwinan Melayu, perkahwinan orang India kan. So kita nampak macam gini rupanya, macam mana adat orang Cina, orang India kan. So maksudnya dari situ pelajar Melayu boleh belajar dan pelajar bangsa lain pun juga boleh belajar apa adat orang Melayu. Sepatutnya kita kena tekankan macam itu. Memang bagus pendapat Mr. Lim.
Yalah, macam upacara kebumian, macam mana kita behave, melawat, menzarahi kawannya yang meninggal ke apa if they're Hindu or they are Indians, how you behave, itu very important. All this should be taught in school and then make it, because a lot of people don't realize, like the other day when I visited a friend, then my friend just make a remark, a Chinese also lah. He said, these Indians, actually we cannot say goodbye to the tuan rumah dah bila kita ziarahi, I said, kita Cina pun sama. Kita sebenarnya orang lama, kita nak balik tak boleh cakap goodbye punya tau. Kita senyap-senyap balik. I don't know about the Muslim and the Malays lah, but the Chinese is that lah. Kita senyap-senyap keluar daripada,
macam gitu
can I add probably that istiadat this thing it is a good knowledge lah. In education wise, like Cikgu Halina, right?
Yes.
You brought up about the culture thing. It is very interesting. I noticed that the students are in vernacular schools, in Chinese schools. They actually make lanterns, Chinese lanterns during the Chinese New Year. Every year it is the same. And those Ibans and all those Kadazans and those Malays and Indians in the Chinese school, they also did the same thing. So during this Hari Raya, before that, they were trying to make the ketupat thing, and then it is an art thing, So I guess it's very interesting. It's very good for them, and they are in harmony. There's no differences that they are Malays and we don't mix, and they are Kadazan Iban. No, there's no such thing. I see this. It's really harmony and unity in the Chinese schools. In the kebangsaan, I'm not so sure. I'm speaking from the aspect of these vernacular schools.
Let me interrupt. Just because you talk about multiculturalism, now we can integrate. So what Lydia is saying is integrating certain cultures into our art. They say during the Chinese New Year, they will make lanterns or drawings of writings of Chinese couplets, and during Hari Raya, they will do some ketupat. That will be part of the art lesson, So it can be incorporated or integrated into our curriculum, as in the curriculum or in the co-curriculum lah.
Yes, I agree. In sekolah kebangsaan, we also do like that. Let's say we celebrate the Hari Raya bersama, and then Tahun Baru Cina bersama, and then Deepavali bersama. And then, for example, when we celebrate the Hari Raya, then all the students can wear the baju raya. Pelajar Cina pun boleh bincang baju raya dengan kaum Melayu. Lepas tu mereka celebrate for one day, for example.
the whole day they on that day is festive, you know. There's no
Yes.
lesson. There's only eating. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean this Bethany. Yeah.
Okay. So let's
I
look.
think not other than that, the if you have schools, certain groups will be in a minority in the school. You see, like if you go to a Chinese school, there will be some Indian and a few Malay students. You should make them part of the, it should not neglect them or, so should encourage them to mix and then let the other, like the Kebangsaan Cina schools, learn the Chinese student learn more from the Malays or the Indian than in the class. So much so they'll learn their culture and their religion. You see, same thing in the Kebangsaan school. Where the majority are Malays now. There are few Chinese and Indian around. So you should make them feel can be integrate them and then make them welcome. That would be a much better lah for multiculturalism in the country lah. That's right.
Yeah.
Don't neglect the minority. Minority means in the class itself, there are few of certain students,
Yeah, like
You
Ivan.
make them, yeah.
Ivan.
You say in a Chinese school, there may be a few Malays and Indians around. You see, they are the minority in the class, So you should make them welcome and then celebrate their cultures and so on. It's a win-win situation for both sides now. Not only the one race, is the other race also. You see, in Malaysia we're very fortunate to have so many races and then we can learn so many things. So compared to those countries, talk to some Europeans, certain European where there are very few Muslims, they don't know what are the do's and don'ts of the Muslims,
Yeah.
So it's become very difficult,
Difficult.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, anything to add? Okay, let's move to second question.
Yeah.
Okay. Apakah perbezaan antara sekolah vernacular dan sekolah kebangsaan? So what are the differences between vernacular and national school?
This one very clear cut. Vernacular is when they use the national curriculum, but their medium instruction is Tamil or Chinese lah.
Yeah.
That's vernacular school. And then the Kebangsaan school is where they use the national curriculum, but the bahasa pengantar is bahasa kebangsaan lah.
Yes.
So very direct. If you want any discussion on this,
I just want to share my experience lah. Saya akan kongsikan pengalaman saya. When I was in elementary school or primary school, I was one of the Chinese vernacular school student in SJKC Kuokwang. And then which is although it is a Chinese primary school, there still have Malay students in my class, although most of them are Chinese, but I can still get along with students who are Malay and Indian very well. Dalam bahasa Melayu Semasa saya di sekolah rendah, saya merupakan salah seorang pelajar sekolah vernacular Cina di SJKC Kuokwang, dekat Tunamina. Okay. Itu sekolah rendah Cina. Walaupun sekolah rendah Cina, tetapi masih ada pelajar Melayu dalam kelas saya. Walaupun kebanyakan mereka yang berbangsa Cina, tapi saya masih boleh bergaul dengan pelajar yang berbangsa Melayu dan India dengan baik. So in my class, there were 4 Malay students, and other one was Iban. One of them who call Siti Nodiana was my best friend lah, and she was very funny. Until today, we are still keeping in touch. And then she can actually speak Mandarin very well. Her mother is Indonesian, and her dad is Malay people. But some of the Malay students in my class already forgot how to actually speak Mandarin because of their environment. They're using every day lah, but city still can speak very well with me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think nowadays the enrollment in the vernacular schools for these Malays and Indians they are increasing. In fact, because of the when they grow up, they actually have additional languages.
More marketable lah.
It is
Okay.
very good for them. It is very good for them, and they have quite a lot of choices. So vernacular schools have got these advantages as well as this Kebangsaan. In fact, Kebangsaan school they are quite good. They really do very well till they're in the U because of their the command of language in Bahasa Malaysia, and then it seems that the English language in Malay Kebangsaan schools they're quite good. If they really put in the effort lah. But the thing is that one advantage of this vernacular school is the language, the languages that they actually start from young, and it is a good thing, you see, because when you start from young, you can easily pick up the thing, even though like what Mei said that her friends, some of them already forgot, but I think if they pick up, it's quite easy for them.
Yeah.
So,
Because of the environment lah.
Globalization, having more than one language or two or three languages is an asset. So vernacular schools also teaches harmony because the students they really get along. They don't have any, there's no polarization of that. That is very important.
Okay. Saya perlu cakap dalam bahasa Melayu tak? Yang
Ya.
Okay.
No.
So actually in my school, all of the teachers are Chinese, but also got few Malay teachers lah that teaches bahasa Melayu. Like 4 or 5, something like that. Okay, so anything to add? Okay. So let's move to the third question. Adakah Anda akan membuat keputusan untuk menghantar anak-anak Anda ke sekolah vernacular, kebangsaan atau antarabangsa? Kenapa? Would you make a decision to send your kids to vernacular, national and international schools? Why? I just want to add a bit lah. The Chinese, because vernacular school in my opinion lah, the Chinese schools in Malaysia today are a result of the effort that made by the Chinese community since the early 18th because of the colonization and post-independence in Malaysia. Sekolah-sekolah vernacular Cina di Malaysia adalah hasil daripada komuniti masyarakat Cina sejak tahun 1810-an kerana penjajahan orang British. And then in national schools such as the sekolah kerajaan, the public school, which are sekolah menengah kebangsaan secondary and sekolah kebangsaan primary school, are using Malay language as their compulsory subject or their first language. This is because using national language can create national unity and solidarity with other races such as the Indians, Malays and Chinese. But at the same time, other languages will be neglected, such as Tamil language and Mandarin. But in my opinion, I think it's not being neglected, but it is whether you want to take up their subject or not. Because I remember when I was in secondary school, I did drop the Chinese subject in PT3 because my school lack of Chinese teachers. and I actually couldn't catch up the subject properly lah. Actually, my parents didn't know about it, and I dropped the Chinese subject until one day in Form 4. I told my father all this thing, and he got mad and wanted me to take back the subject. So I took back the subject lah, Chinese subject in SPM.
And what do you get? Do you pass or not?
Pass lah. Even don't have teacher. Didn't have teacher.
Maybe I want to share. The question on your question is whether you want to send your kids to international schools or to vernacular schools or to a national school. Well, I say if I can afford and I have a child, I will definitely send to international schools because I've seen my nephews and nieces who have been to international schools. They started from young because their parents are all professionals, they can afford. And the thing is that they are really able to voice their opinion very confidently. They speak very good English. They also speak side Malay, but they can't handle the Chinese. Well, anyway, I think their parents are preparing them for global. So I would rather that if I can afford, I'll prefer to give a quality education. Because education, if it starts from young and it has quality, it can bring up the best of kids, you know. So I would choose to go for this international school if I could afford that. But on the other side, if I cannot afford to bring my kid to international school, I will opt for a vernacular school because if they're exposed to more languages, I think it's a good thing for them. The only setback is Chinese schools are all crammed with homework, so that is the bad thing about.
I look at international schools now. It's very multicultural, and then in one class there are students from so many nations, and they come in with different experience and different interaction, very rich in their experience. And the teachers are quite international, so they bring along their experience, So actually the students learn a lot, The main problem with our Malaysian student is communication. So in international school, I think that helps a lot. They communicate a lot. Our Malaysian, you look at overseas, the students in the Western countries, they can converse with you, even in primary school, they can strike a conversation with you. In Malaysian school, very sad to say, we don't encourage our students to speak up. When they're in primary school,